Now, to introduce our valedictorian, Tan Tran.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The pleasure is all mine to introduce our Victorian, David Thomas Vian. Our Victorian this year is remarkable. Not only does he excel in academics, but also in his community service. He has been in the scouting programs for 10 years and has been recently promoted to the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest rank an Honor Scout can receive. This is where he was able to demonstrate his trustworthiness and dedication to everything he does. David is one of the few who never gives up. Whatever he wants, he pursues it with all his heart. If he wanted to finish reading a textbook in a week, he would. To become a valedictorian, you can't just have good looks or intelligence. You also need to have the dedication to do hard work. And this is the quality I've seen in David for the last 4 years. He has been working hard ever since his freshman year and throughout senior year. Senior year is when senioritis hit us. It's a contagious disease that turns all of us seniors into bums. However, David is a different story. He would do his pack even if he has 110 in the class. Once he drove to Travis House at 9 p.m. to borrow a textbook for the next day. Besides juggling 8 AP classes, he is a committee head for the Student Council, vice president for the class of 2013, treasurer for FBLA. Outside of school, he's involved in the Houston Mayor's Youth Council and volunteers at the West Houston Medical Center. I've had the amazing opportunity to work alongside David for the last 4 years in 2 of these clubs. I can tell you personally that he is someone you can rely on. Even if it takes a while, he will come through and get what is done. As long as you need him to do something, he will not let you down. This is what makes him so likable. David is not only an excellent student, but he is also a good son and a great friend. You can come and easily talk to him about anything, and he will sit there and listen. Even if he doesn't know what to say, he'll just pat you on the back and tell you it's okay. David told me that he wants to be a doctor because he wants to become someone dependable. He said that when you're sick and scared, what you really need is someone you can rely on. And to be a doctor, you have to have dedication and determination. David's ability to self-discipline himself will help him do this. He is remarkable. To prepare for the 8 AP exams, he will lock himself in his room, block out all social websites on his computer, and only focus on studying. He doesn't let the social media or procrastination distract him. He tells me that through hard work, you will be able to achieve anything. He has proven this maxim to be true. I've never met someone with as much power to aim for what they want as David. Even with all the classes and leadership position, David still has time to volunteer and help out. He has accomplished so much that even strangers who just met him would come up to him, pat him on the back, and say, "Good job." I am proud beyond all measure to introduce your valedictorian, David Vian.
Hello again, everyone. Family, friends, faculty, and 80 school board members, I am honored to be a part of Kerr's graduating class of 2013 and humbled to speak before you today as your valedictorian. Before I continue with this address, let me share a story. 2 young moles are digging tunnels through the earth. An older mole passes and asks them, "How's the dirt, boys?" The 2 moles continue digging until a few minutes later, one mole turns to the other and asks, "What is dirt?" In some ways, Kerr students may seem like these 2 moles, focused and blinded by homework. Now, please don't lean back and prepare to fall asleep to a crusty, dry monologue wherein I cast myself as the wise older mole and rattle off a list of cliches and stale sayings. But the fact is that in the rhythm of our day-to-day lives, we fixate ourselves upon how mundane, routine, and boring life can be. We become frustrated when we encounter more than 50 math questions in a homework assignment. We pull our hair out when we have to do proyectos for Spanish, and we bite our nails to the quick when we forget to write in complete MLA format. We groan when all the computers in the Social Studies Center are taken, and when the lunch lines stretch past the cafeteria doors. We quite figuratively flip tables when we're in the testing center and we hear, "Give your heart a break" by Demi Lovato coming from the gym. Some people believe Kerr is all about work, that all we do is read dusty books, blindly complete thick homework packets, and obsessively study for hours on end. In fact, many people wonder why anyone would subject themselves to such a grueling, at times monotonous existence. This begs the question, what will our Kerr diploma mean? But it cannot be quantified or defined by some of the knowledge we've accumulated. We cannot point to a textbook and say, there, that is what this education means. This is what I have gained. Some might disagree. After all, Miss Mack taught us that mathematical functions can have an inflection. Mr. Matson taught us that King Henry VIII's love life would have had a bigger following than Honey Boo Boo. Mrs. Evans taught us that monsoon season is the worst time to camp alongside an Indian river. And Mr. Dunlap drilled into us that time is money, and the only thing better than money is more money. We've learned the value of persistence and dedication. This year, we won our first homecoming game in just 4 years of participation. But hey, that was all part of the plan, right? But our success is not totally our own. There are many people we have to thank. On behalf of my classmates and myself, I'd like to first give a resounding thank you to the parents and those who stepped in as parental figures. And I want to specifically recognize my parents, who have given me all the patience, love, time, and support in the world, and then some. My sisters have helped me laugh when I felt overwhelmed and inadequate. You are the absolute best, and I love you all so much. I'd also like to salute not just my teachers, but every educator in this room. It is because of you that students like myself have the courage to dream and believe. To Mrs. Kilmer, Mrs. Valdez, Mrs. Ona, Mrs. Bancroft, Mr. Dunlap, and Mrs. Caro, your biting wit, humor, and inspirational challenges have made every, and I do mean every, science class an absolutely unforgettable experience. Thank you for giving me the tools to succeed, not just in the lab and in college, but also as an adult. To Ms. Harrison, any attempt to express what I've gained from your teaching would be a shadow of what I've truly learned. I'm the happiest cup of couscous ever. Okay. I'd also like to thank all the administrators, Mr. Freeman, Mrs. Walls, Mrs. Lonhart, Mrs. Barrett, and Mr. Miller. But I'd especially like to spotlight Mrs. Tones, who has been exceedingly patient with me, and probably one of the only reasons why I got into the college of my dreams. To Ms. Volkova, thank you so much for your patience, dedication, and professionalism to me and my class. Lastly, my friends, especially my best friend for over 11 years, Matthew Huynh. Thank you for continually inviting me out to have fun, even though I'm kind of a loser. You guys have possibly taught me as much as, if not more than, any book ever could. And it is thanks to the involvement of all of these people in my life that I stand before you as the young man I am today. And it is thanks to you, parents, educators, and friends, that our graduating class will be the leaders and professionals of tomorrow. But what is the actual value of what we've accomplished in the last 4 years? Like I said before, we as people tend to immerse ourselves within our daily lives the way a mole buries itself in dirt. Although this might seem like an occasion for an exfoliating bath, we've already been given the tools necessary to clean ourselves. You see, what we've actually received is a capability to forego our obsession with ourselves and appreciate the perspectives of others. It means that we've developed mindfulness, enough to see that maybe the other student's walking speed reflects not the content of their character, but the speed of the person in front of them. Enough to see that maybe those 50 math questions aren't a personal attack from the math teachers, but an opportunity to develop critical thinking and reasoning skills, as well as a little bit of patience. This diploma, then, is a constant reminder to see the world not just from our point of view, but to once in a while stick our heads out of the dirt of daily routine and say, Life is more than to-do lists and deadlines. It is also about being present in the moment. In the coming years, this mindfulness will teach us to appreciate the little mishaps, uh-ohs, and occasions where life doesn't go according to plan. It will ensure that when there's a hitch in our daily routine, we don't shut down and that we don't devolve into blind moles. Thus, I implore you, be mindful of the dirt and of the other people who, just like yourself, find themselves pushing through it. I am certain that if you are capable of doing this, then you will succeed no matter what. Class of 2013, holy moly, keep on digging.